What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you 5 tips to help you master the run game in Madden 19. If this is your first time checking out one of my videos and you want to improve your game and stay up to date on Madden 19 tips all year, consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon so that you never miss any uploads. So we're going to get into it. 5 tips to help you master the run game and help you get more yards on the ground. Number 1 on this list is you want to use the best type of run play, and for me, that is the stretch play. Now this is kind of a 2-for-1 tip. If you use any halfback stretch, you want to use it on the short side of the field because for some reason the blocking is just way better. So right here we're putting the ball on the right hash, so we're going to run the stretch to the right. If the ball was on the left hash, we would flip the formation and run it to the left. Now you would think running a stretch to the wide side of the field would be more beneficial because you'd have more space to work with. But for some reason on the short side of the field, maybe just because the field is a little bit more compressed, the blocking just sets up very, very nicely on this. And there's tons of good stretch plays in the game. This is one of my favorites out of the single back wing formation. It was one of the better stretches in Madden 18, and it is still very good in Madden 19. As you can see, consistently getting great yardage running this stretch to the short side of the field. Anytime you have a stretch, whether it be out of this formation, it could be out of other single back formations, it could be out of an I form or a strong formation, doesn't really matter. Just make sure you're running it to the right side. Now here, the defense is just completely sold out to the right. So in this case, we would flip it to the left and run it to the left because it just makes sense to, because literally the entire right side of the field was stacked with defenders. So take notice of things like that. If you see everybody shifting to one side of the field, then of course you can flip the run and take it the other way. Here's another stretch out of the I form close, just showing you a different example, but showing you that it's still just as consistent. Stretch plays to the short side of the field are very, very, I don't want to say they're like overpowered, but they're very consistent. And if you don't know how to play proper run defense, using the proper coverages to stop them, it could be a long day at the office. So that's the first tip. Now, number 2 is taking advantage of multiple tight end sets. So you see right here, some of these sets have 3 tight ends, and then we have other single back sets that have 2 tight ends, like the one we were just running on the field out of single back. You want to take advantage of sets that have 2 or 3 tight ends because you're going to get better blocking, and those are typically better run sets. Here you see an I form tight running the ball in a 2 tight end set, make a guy miss and score a touchdown, but anytime you have 2 tight ends on the field, you're going to have way better run blocking. If you come out in a regular I form and you just have 1 tight end on the field, yes, you can still run the ball out of that, but something like I form tight or I form wing or a single back set that has 2 or 3 tight ends, you are going to get better consistent blocking because you have bigger bodies on the line that can really take advantage of the front 7. They can block better, and you're going to be able to get a lot of consistent yards if you utilize sets that have multiple tight ends in them. As you can see here, still running the ball against the 2 tight end set. Now, number 3 on the list is a big one that a lot of people don't know about. You do not want to abuse turbo. You never want to hold turbo behind the line of scrimmage, because if you hold turbo behind the line of scrimmage, you're going to cause people to block shed very easily, and people don't know that. That's like a weird Madden thing. If you hold turbo behind the line of scrimmage, you're going to get block sheds. Notice where my guy is right here. This is when I start pressing turbo, when I have the entire outside open and there's no one close to me that can block shed me, but I never want to hold turbo behind the line of scrimmage. I'm going to show some more examples right here. Right now I'm hitting turbo. At that point right there, we're going to go back to the replay so we can show it in slow motion, but I'm never holding turbo while I'm still behind the line of scrimmage. Watch on the replay here. We're going to slow it down. Going to run the ball to the right. As you can see, I'm not holding it yet, Now I press turbo. I'm at the outside. I have all this open space, all the blocks, the edges are sealed. Now I've got around the edge. Now I turn turbo on. Going to show it again. Still not holding turbo. If I were to hold turbo here, one of these defensive linemen would have a very high probability of block shedding. It's just one of those Madden things. When you hold down turbo, that sets off like an alarm for the defense that's saying, hey, this guy's getting up to his top speed. It causes their block sheds to get sped up as well. So you always want to make sure you get out to the edge just running with the left stick. You secure the outside edge, and then at that point, that is when you want to hold down the turbo button. Now, the next tip on the list is be aware of the run blocking ratings. Right here, out of pistol bunch tight end, I want to run halfback zone, but you know what I can do? I can take this inside receiver here, and I could swap him out for a tight end. Now I'm turning it into a dual tight end set, and that's going to give me better blocking. But it's not just about, hey, I'm going to sub in a tight end here, or I'm going to sub in an offensive lineman in a tight end spot. You can do that as well. But it's also about saying, hey, I have 3 wide receivers here. Let me make sure that I have 3 good run blocking wide receivers here when I want to run the ball. Notice number 85 who we subbed in here. You see how he is holding his guy and he allows us to get around the edge? If that is a wide receiver right there, there's a higher chance of a block shed, because most wide receivers are not going to block in the run game as well as a tight end can. Here again, you see 85, he is holding off his man and he seals the edge and allows me to get around the outside. If that was just a regular wide receiver there, there's a much higher probability of a block shed, unless he is just a beast of a blocking wide receiver like a Brandon Marshall type. Watch right here how 85, he is completely sealing off the edge for us because I manually put him in there. So being aware of run block ratings when you know you want to come out and run the ball is very important. Whether, like I said, it's your wide receiver or whether you're subbing a guy in, you want to make sure that who's ever in those spots can properly have a high enough rating at the block so that they can hold off their defender and not allow you to get hit with a block shed. Now, the last and most important tip, in my opinion, this might be common knowledge to some people, but then again, maybe it won't be. You want to have a balanced rushing attack. You never want to rely on just one run. Even if you have your bread and butter run that's very consistent, like your stretch type play, you still want to have a balanced attack to make the defense respect everything. So right here, out of this I form tight, we're going to showcase 3 different runs. We have a counter, we have a dive, and we have a power O. It attacks each area of the field. We can attack right, left, or up the middle. So we're going to notice the defense and say, well, where's the best area for us to run the ball? Okay, we're going to look and diagnose. Right here, this kind of looks balanced. It's not favoring either side or the other, so we're just going to run the halfback dive. We're going to try to run whatever run play gives us the highest probability of gaining yards. Here, the middle is clearly wide open, so we're going to choose the dive. We're going to make them respect the dive. If they're going to leave the middle open, we're going to take it. We're going to make them, as you see here, we go untouched for a touchdown. If they're going to leave the middle open, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make them put guys in the box, and when they do that, then we attack them to the outside. Here again, middle looks kind of open. It looks pretty sweet, but also the left side looks sweet as well. So we'll go for the counter, and we got about 7 yards. So that time we could have went up the middle or to the outside, but I wanted to showcase the counter run, so we went to the left. Here you can see kind of balanced. Doesn't look like it's favoring either side or the other, so we'll just go with the power O here, and we got about 4.5 yards. Your goal when you're running the ball in Madden, you want to at least get 4 yards. 4 to 5 yards is golden. Here, the middle's wide open. We're going to take it up the middle, and look at that. We got about 15 yards. We got about 10 yards before we even initiated contact because the middle was open. Here again, the left side looks a little vulnerable, so we're going to go with the counter. Look at this. We get to the outside, put a juke move on, and we get about 10 to 11 yards. It's all about having the ability to attack the defense in multiple areas. You have 3 run plays at your disposal, maybe 4 depending on how you set your audibles up. You want to diagnose the defense, and you want to figure out what area should I attack. I need to make them respect everything. Even if you know that you have one specific run play that is definitely far and away better than the others, you still need to throw the others at them so that they have to respect them. Your halfback dive isn't going to be a home hitting run play, but if you can get 4 yards a pop on it, then you're going to force them to have to keep some guys in the box, and then when they start having to commit guys to the box to respect it, then that's when you pull out your stretch or your power O or your toss, whatever is your bread and butter play. Usually the outside runs are more the bread and butter, the big gainers. That's when you pull those out, once you make them respect the other runs in your arsenal. So that is the 5th tip. Always make sure to have a balanced attack. You can set your custom audibles in any formation, so you can find a run formation you like that has 3 to 4 runs that attack different spots of the field, and you can just set them up to your liking. So just to recap the 5 tips: number 1, use stretches and use them on the short side of the field. They are very effective. Use dual tight end sets for better blocking. Do not abuse turbo behind the line of scrimmage. Make sure you get to the outside, get to the open field before using turbo. Number 4, pay attention to your blocking rating from your wide receivers. You can sub tight ends in if you need a better blocker. And 5, use the balanced attack to make the defense honest and make them respect every type of run that you possibly can throw at them on the field. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, definitely hit that subscribe button. And as always, I will see you guys next time.